just resigned from a job, so I was unemployed at the time. I had resigned and I left this one job, and I was out looking for work. I ended up finding another job, of course, but my brother showed me this video on this website, and it was like the one where you're looking for the ghost in the parking lot, and the person comes up and scares you or whatever. It went viral. But I saw that and I said, what is this? And he said, well, it's a website. You go and you make videos and people can watch your stuff. And I remember saying, that's kind of weird. So I went there and I said, wow, so I can create an account, I can get a camera, and I can do videos. I could have my own show, which I had the Tall Jim 01 show. Yes, yeah, whatever. But it was kind of gimmicky. But I started branching out and I started doing a show and I started doing news things and I started doing quirky things and comedy things and making up my own little skits and my own little 10-minute short films. And I had one where I was an FBI agent chasing aliens. I don't even know if that one's still up anymore. But the first video that you'll see if you go to my channel, the very first video was the Michael Richards tirade. I did kind of a commentary on that, or a video blog on that. But that's how I got started. I was unemployed. I was sitting at home. I was looking for work during the day, but when I wasn't out filling out applications or driving around, going to human resources offices, I was like, what do I do all day? Or what do I do at night? You can't search for work at night. So I started making videos on YouTube. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I got started. Talking into a camera, you're sitting in your house alone, or maybe you could be with family in the background, but you're talking into this camera, and people they don't do it so much anymore because social media is so big right now. But I remember back in the day, people would laugh and go, so you sit and you talk at a camera all day, like what? You talk into your camera, like, And I thought, no, there's hundreds, and even thousands of people doing this. And then it became viral, and now YouTube is this huge thing, and you see people walking down the street talking into their cameras or talking into their phones like this, and so. But back in the day, talking into a camera was not something people do. It's like, and I would have to explain, no, I'm talking to all these people that are watching me, but you're not on TV. I don't know. I like to talk. I'm very loquacious. So video blogging is very fun to me. I like to pick a topic and just go for it. But acting in a scene is so much fun. If you go back and look several years ago or a few years ago, you'll see where I did scene reenactments. I did scenes from the movie The Big Lebowski, No Country for Old Men, Crimson Tide. Even did Pulp Fiction. I did the look at the big brain on Brad scene. So I love acting. It really is fun to do that, especially when you're the director, the actor, the producer, the writer. Well, I wasn't the writer. Take that back. I used the script, the public script that you can find if you Google online. There's scripts are all over the internet. But I did that, and it was a lot of fun. And I played every character, like you do a scene. You do a character, and then put him aside, and you go do another character, and then I was the editor. I would have to sit and cut the scenes together per line. So it's a lot of work, but that was a lot more fun than just hitting record and vlogging and stopping. It's a whole lot of fun to act and to play a character, and but of course now I do other types of videos. Now I do, what I do now. So I've always recorded the police on and off. I mean, we've had police talking to people out here or in the park across the street. I used to always just film the police when they were in the area. And one day I'm watching a video. It's by a guy named High Desert Community Cop. I think it was High Desert Community Watch. Now it's High Desert Community Cop Watch or News Watch. But High Desert Community Watch. I remember watching one of his videos. I think I was watching police videos or something about angry cops. And I saw this guy, High Desert Community Watch. And I said, what's this all about? And he was walking toward this cop, and he said, get your hands out of your pockets. And he's like, well, are you crazy? You know, I'm like, wow, that's interesting. And from there, I watched another one, and then another one of another person, and another one. And I started watching all these people who were out there recording these cops. And while most law enforcement officers are professional, know how to conduct themselves, I saw a few videos where the cops were so unprofessional, like a person just standing there recording, and the cop would come get right in their face and say, back up, go across the street. I'd be like, wow, what a dick. Like, you don't have to be like that. The guy's just standing there silently with a camera as people are walking down the sidewalk or people are driving by, and I'm like, what about those people? Oh, they don't have cameras. And I started to get a little ticked, like, you know, because I thought you're shaming all public servants by acting like a dick. Like, you don't have to do that. And this isn't all law enforcement officers, it's just particular ones that I would see in these videos. I would be like, why is that cop acting like a jerk? Like, he doesn't have to act like that. And I thought, I wonder, the cops around here are like, now I didn't start filming the police, don't get me wrong. I started out as a journalist doing events, like the fire department. They went to a felled tree where it pulled down some telephone lines. And I recorded them trying to get the tree off of the phone lines, and they cut it and chopped it, and you know, I went and recorded. I thought, wow, I could record events here in town. So I started off as just a journalist, doing stories, but not a whole lot really happens around here that's of real interest, you know. And I started filming the police, and then I went to, I think it was Redlands or San Bernardino, and I saw a couple officers really disrespect somebody that they didn't have to. And I'm not, and again, this isn't to judge or criticize those officers, but they were really acting like jerks. And I go, why do you have to act like that? Because you have a badge? Like, so I started filming all police, and then I started looking nationwide. It kind of depends. First Amendment auditing, I'm not really so much active in anymore. It's kind of got to the point where it's kind of boring. It's like, to do a First Amendment audit is almost to try to entice somebody to act a certain way. Yeah, I get that you're going out to try to see if they respect your filming in public, but I think so many people are onto it now that you almost have to kind of entice somebody to react a certain way to get an interesting video. And that's just not me. I'm just not, you know, I'd rather just stand silently and capture the moment. Sometimes police officers don't even like that, and they'll try to fight you on that. But so I'm not really big on First Amendment auditing. Cop watching I really like, because it does keep the police officers accountable. Now, they're out there keeping drug dealers accountable and pimps accountable and criminals accountable, thieves and drunk drivers. Who's keeping them accountable? Well, their body cam and their dash cam, and we've already covered that. That's not reliable. So I like cop watching, which simply means to watch them with your camera, and that the camera doesn't lie. You know, if they act professional and they need some kudos, it's going to give that to them. If they act unprofessional, if they lack, you know, if their conduct is less than what it should be as a public servant, the camera is going to tell that, and then people can say, you need to be retrained. You're not a very good public servant. So yeah, cop watching I think is very important. Journalism, I do like to go out and cover stories. I do like going out and saying, hey, this is what's going on, or we've had a car accident, this person did this, and right now we have on scene the fire department and they're working on the person, whatever. I do like doing stuff like that, or if there's something big in town, an event, I can go cover that, bicycle race or whatever. Why not go bigger than YouTube? I just love YouTube. It's, you know, yeah, I could try to be a stringer and sell my stuff to the news and KTLA5 or KCAL9 or CBS2, but I think that I love YouTube in and of itself even more than Facebook, Because YouTube allows me to be the controller. I'm the writer, the producer, the director, the editor, and the one guy doing it, whether I'm acting or whether I'm doing it as a journalist or an activist. I'm the one. I control it. It's my baby. I'm the Steven Spielberg or the Martin Scorsese or the Quentin Tarantino of what I'm doing. You know, it's mine. I control it. Nobody can say anything. I answer to myself. So that's why I love to stick to YouTube. Yeah, I could try to go bigger than YouTube. Some people say you should work for a newspaper. Well, now I'm working for the editor, or editor-in-chief, or I'm working for that media company or that newspaper, that news company. No, I want to work for me. I want to answer to me. I'm the one who gets to call the shots, and that's why I love YouTube more than the bigger media. Well, there is a division there. There's some drama going on there. I think that we definitely need to find ways to work together. But, I think that we need to just be silent and capture the moment. I think that's what we have to do. There are times when you can't be silent, when a police officer will say something, or, when a law enforcement officer or a citizen, anybody that will interject themselves into your video, of course you're going to have to respond sometimes, so you can't always be silent. But I think to try to pull them in, to try to entice or pull them in to try to get a reaction, so you can say, look at this great video, I called this cop a coward and whatever, and I'm screaming at this cop and everybody's watching. And I think that whether it's your style or not, I don't agree with it. I think as activists we need to capture the moment. There are other things we can do. We can make complaints on officers if we see them doing wrong. We can tweet police departments and police chiefs if we see wrong. We can do other things as well as activists. But how do I see the community? I think that some people have just kind of gone astray. They're looking for entertainment. They're looking for views. They're looking for money because they're monetized. And I think they've lost the plot a little on what activism or journalism really is. They've moved into the entertainment mode now. They're no longer activists or journalists. Now they're entertainers. Some have done that. And I think we need to reel them back. Come back to us. You're an activist. You're a journalist. You're not just an entertainer. You're not an entertainer. But you do have to keep it entertaining sometimes. You do have to make people laugh a little. But I think that some have lost the plot on that. And I don't know. I think everyone should have the right to free speech, to say what they want, with limitations. No racism, no epithets about anything, calling people gay names or anything like that. But there you go. I'm News Now Yucaipa. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, click subscribe and that little bell. Ding-a-ling-a-ling.